schmancy.
Well, let's get on into this girl chat, because
Yes,
first
ma'am.
up, we all heard little girls described as princesses, and even though it's often meant with good intentions, there's a growing concern by some people that term princess is actually outdated and sexist. In fact, Disney Australia recently launched a campaign to try and change the meaning of the word from it being used to describe someone as spoiled and selfish to being used to describe someone who's strong and independent. So, ladies, I think that's a good thing. You know?
I saw it.
I just never knew that princess was spoiled and selfish.
I didn't either. I mean,
me
what do you think
neither.
about the term? I always thought it was cute.
I thought
Me
it was
too.
like that's like being like, yes, young queen, like
Or a term of
you're a beautiful
endearment.
princess. Yeah. Oh, hi,
Yeah.
princess. Like it's royalty. I never thought it meant something like you're negative.
Yes, but royalty connotates that you have service meant people to help you out. It connotates that you are rich, you don't have to lift a finger. It doesn't mean that that's a real thing, because I
Same
know...
connotation for saying someone's beautiful. Like,
No. What?
I just think it's a complimentary term. Like, hi, beautiful. Hi, princess.
The way I've
Like, I
always
don't think
seen
somebody's
it-
being like, hi, spoiled little brat.
Yes, but I think that princess, when I always heard it, it never meant anything bad. It just meant exactly what you see in Disney movies, that somebody comes from an amazing magical kingdom.
But a lot of
they've got
the-
a lot of things taken care of.
Yes, but
for
I've
them.
never seen a Disney princess in a negative light. Because believe me, I watch them over and over and over and over and over. And I
it's not negative to be a princess.
I do call Araya princess, and she lights up. But when you think of the attributes of a Disney character, there's lots of strength. I mean, Princess Belle chose to see, she chose not to judge a book by its cover. She chose to see love, you know, inside a beast when people were afraid of him. True?
He wasn't looking real cute at this point when she fell in
became
love.
a princess. She became that princess.
Belle wasn't a princess to begin with.
Princess Moana believed in herself before anyone else believed in her. Princess Tiana was actually very, very adventurous. And
You do know all the
I do, I'm
princesses,
telling you guys.
don't you?
Princess and Princess Cinderella, she embodied unconditional
Was she a
love.
princess?
They
She
became
became a
princesses.
princess.
Guys,
Oh,
they
okay. I
became
forgot
princesses.
the story. It's so long.
They became princess. When you talk about the princesses, you don't just say Cinderella.
Yes.
You say Princess Cinderella. She became a princess.
she
Belle
actually was
became
a-
a princess.
she
They
was-
call them Disney princesses.
She became a princess because she married the prince.
Yes.
But she came from very humble beginnings, and it showed that
Yes.
she was hardworking, scrubbing the floors. Remember the bubbles
Yes.
were everywhere, people?
And because of their attributes that they had within. Princess Belle would have never become a princess if she didn't see the beauty in Beast.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm saying? That's
And
where I'm
today,
coming
we
from.
don't even have to go as far as Disney. We actually can look at modern day princesses. I mean, I even see Princess Diana as somebody who was of the community.
Amazing.
Somebody who really cared
Yeah.
and worked for the people. I just think sometimes when people choose to use it in a derogatory way, they mean the person who doesn't want to lift a finger, the person that
I
can't
never
imagine
think that.
doing work. Right.
How would
that
you use it in a
exists- that exists
sentence
out
in a
there.
negative way?
With a child.
Oh, with a child. No,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
that's
do it
what
in
we're
a child.
talking about.
See,
That's what we're talking
I think
about.
with a child, I would rather have someone call them my little princess than my little bitch, you know, my little brat. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I just think that there is a
Call her
connotation
princess.
out there. There is
You think like,
something.
oh, she's just a little princess or something
know.
like what?
Oh, the little princess over
She's
there is being a
spoiled.
snot on the
remember
playground.
when somebody like Paris Hilton, when Paris Hilton and Simple Life came out and everything, I heard people refer to her as a princess because she's an heir, she has a lot of money, and she didn't have to lift a finger.
she's not a
people
real
think,
princess.
But she's not a real. Guys, I'm saying when it's used derogatory.
Right.
Like why would Disney
got it.
want to change this? Because there is an idea out there that people can be called princesses in a negative way, and I think it's a good idea to change the perspective, to teach women of the princesses today that really exist, and Paris Hilton even actually really works. Not to make it look like it's just one thing.
Just correct me if I'm wrong. Did Disney want to change this, or did they want to just highlight that, listen, look, there are more ways to describe a princess?
Well, I think people were being negative and saying they don't want their kids to be princesses.
So they're responding.
Because they're
I think it goes deeper. I kind of get where you're going, Jeannie. This is the thing. The thing that I worry about with little girls, and I put this in my comedy act, is the point of fairy tales.
Yes.
Fairy tales, you know, sometimes we put this stereotype of fairy tales on little girls, and I don't think that that's right. You always hear about Beauty and the Beast. You know, she took him even though he looked like a beast. You'll never hear Beauty, you know, the prince and the frog face bitch. You never hear that. You know.
Yeah.
Or it's what I'm saying is.
Never work.
It wouldn't work the opposite way where the woman, you know, where the man is looking for the frog-faced princess or something like that. And I think that is, when you talk about fairy tales, I'm very concerned with fairy tales, and I think maybe that's where they're going with, we can't let little girls think that life is always like a fairy tale.
Well, I teach them the difference between, I think it's the parents' responsibility to teach them the difference between fairy tales, fantasy, and reality.
Yeah, because they could be watching Transformers and think that trucks are going to become robots.
Exactly, and when I read my daughter the book, she knows that this is a fairy tale.
Yes. I do
Although my son does call me the queen, my dad the king, and himself the prince. But I think he gets the gist. He tells me what's real and what's not.
And that kind of stuff.
But remember, these women that, if we're talking about those characters, they were regular, everyday women or servants. Cinderella was a servant. She was a stepsister. And
Princess
then she
Moana wasn't a servant, though.
Mulan was royalty, and she just wanted to be a warrior.
But
y'all know these stories. I need to catch up on my stories.
I'm a huge fan.
All that to say, I think that I do love other movies that Disney has done, like Frozen, which was a big hit, where her Prince Charming was not a guy. The soulmate that she needed to find was her sister.
Yes.
It was a woman, and I think that that's also a really strong message.
Or like Shrek, when they turned back into tree monsters. Remember that? I'm right about that, right?
Yeah, or be powerful as a woman because you are, whether you were the Cinderella that cared for all the mice or the Belle who looked to see good in people, you are already dynamic without having to be crowned to become a princess after all of that.
Let's try to find the positive in everything instead of looking for the negative.
I agree.
Well, from redefining what it means to be a princess to redefining what it means to take a family vacation. One mom recently sparked a debate for asking this question on mumsnet.com. She said, quote, "Am I a bad mom because I want to leave my toddler behind while my husband and 2 older children go on vacation?" The mother is planning to go to a water park, and she said in this case, they'd all be able to go on the rides without someone having to stay behind with the baby. So is this mom being selfish, or is she being sensible? I want to ask the mom.
Yeah.
You guys, you just yelled sensible?
Well, and that's the thing about moms. You know, you have to do you. But I know for me, I could not leave one of my children home. It's just who I am. But I'm not going to judge anybody else who does. Mainly because, for me, I love our family unit. My son loves being with Araya and vice versa. And when I travel, I want to experience that with everybody. I never want to leave a child out because you never know what they might think if they see pictures in the future. But not only that, maybe this is a morbid thought, but what if something happens to all of us on this family trip and then you're just left with, imagine
what
that
sole survivor. That's what that is.
That's the way I think sometimes.
But you're not the only one that thinks that way. Yes, it is a morbid thought to think, but there are actually a lot of families that either they feel like you, where you'd prefer to all be on the flight together.
Yeah.
And there are other families that always take
separately.
2 separate flights so that everybody doesn't die.
Isn't that
in this
horrible?
case,
Sounds crazy.
In this story, though, the mother left the little one with her mother. So I looked at it as, maybe a lot of people don't have a lot of people to watch their kids or to help them. So I looked at it as that was a moment that the mother could bond with the little one, and then the mother and dad could, bond with the other two. Yeah, the grandmother. So I think that's good, but I also think when you go on trips, like now I've been noticing when we go on trips, Tam takes me.
Yes,
we rotate, so we don't need to. We have so many people with us. Like
that's what I said. Walt Disney World. We had so much fun.
She was I put her right on my lap. We was riding all the rides, Small World.
But that's what I want to ask.
Everything.
How old is Araya in that picture?
Less than 1.
She wasn't 1 yet.
And she got a fever.
Did she enjoy it?
She didn't know.
I think
she was less than 1.
No,
but
you
see,
guys,
I don't
Disney
believe
World
that.
is something completely different. I think she really enjoyed the music and she enjoyed the lights. you know, when you go to like the parade.
Yeah. You sound so much like my sister.
I know.
No,
can't.
I agree with you, Tam. When I was
same.
younger, my parents loved traveling, and so we would go to Knott's Berry Farm or even Disneyland, and I was too young to really speak or show that I liked anything. But I know I had a really good childhood, and I loved the feeling that my parents had when you just bring them through those experiences. I may not be able to verbalize or as a toddler to say, oh, that was a dope ride, or that corn dog was real bomb. You're not going to say that, but you remember, just like when you read to your kid when they're in your womb. You read to them, you play music, you love on them. That emanates, it comes through in energy. I really do believe in that.
When you're talking about ages, though, ages are important. Now, like, you know, right, but she knew we was with her. We wasn't going to leave her. But now she getting a little bit older, right? And you need more people because we went to Monster Truck, you know, and that was like an experience for me. So I had to put her on top of my shoulder.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
I would say just invite a lot of people with you, and then y'all can rotate, and then that way y'all all can stay together. That's how I see it.
My only thing is, I'm not a parent, but like, I wouldn't think there's anything wrong with it if it's not age appropriate. Does that make sense? Like, like you also have to understand that there are going to be activities that you can't do because that's a life lesson. You know, we're all going to be getting on rides. You ain't going to inconvenience all of us because you're a baby.
See, that's what's hard about parenting.
What? Okay,
so wrong.
So I am aware.
My mom would do the same.
But I am aware that I am that like special parent. There are parents that actually go on vacations and leave their children. I can't do that. I wouldn't be able to fully enjoy my vacation because I would be thinking about what my kids are doing, and they could be in the best care. They could be with my mom.
That's how I know. That's how I know I'm not even meant to be a mom.
Look,
I'm that girl that will go to Disneyland, and I will legit regret not being able to hit up the roller coasters because I got this little one with me, and I'm like, I want to go on the Tower of Doom.
This makes me remember one time my friend TJ, my real good friend TJ and Mike, they were married, and they had 3 kids, and they decided that they wanted to go on. You know, they needed a honeymoon. So TJ left me with the small baby, and the other 2 kids were with her mother. And the thing is, I told TJ, she had just had her. And I said, make sure you get her off the bottle get her off the breast before you leave. You know, yeah. She didn't leave that baby. She didn't get her off of the breast. So what happened was they went on the trips for 2 weeks. That first night.
Now, hold on. I said for a day at the park.
But they really needed to leave. They really needed to leave, right? And she could trust me. But the point is, I gave her instructions to tell her, make sure that baby is off of the breast because I don't have no breast milk. See what I'm saying?
But you
so
sure
what
have
happened?
breast.
She didn't leave. She didn't wean her off. And so that first night, she wouldn't take the bottle. She was like, and I felt so bad because I was like, I don't have nothing. No, but what I did, hold on. But what I did was, I felt really bad because I'm like, I know she hungry. I just put her to bed. She woke up that next morning. I gave her that bottle. She.
Oh my God! I really
they don't call you Auntie Lonnie for nothing.
The moral of this story is, if you need a 2-week babysitter, call Auntie Lonnie.
I'll take care of kids. I will.
You are amazing.
My mom left me.
What?
My mom left me, but I was older at the time. I was 13, and it was my sister's
everybody leaving their kids at 13. Everybody. No.
Word? That's okay then.
Everybody
How did you
Yeah,
feel?
I felt fine. I was with my dad. My mom took my sister to Mexico on vacation. It was for her 16th birthday.
My mama left me
I
with my
understood. It
grandma
wasn't my
when I was
turn.
13. And my grandma, you know what, that was an experience because she just is different, right? So one time, the milk, it was a cup of milk, I'll never forget. And my grandma, it was something in my milk, and I said, something in my milk, and she took her finger, did just like that.
Oh my God.
I was like, I can't wait for my mama to get back home.
That's crazy. No, Mama Mai never left me home. She always brought me. No, she brought me because Mama Mai knew that when you bring kids to any event, all of a sudden you get special discounts and you get things for free. She even considered if the airline pilot gives you those little wings, you get free gift. You put the airline wings on me. And the only thing is, like, after a certain age, when I was 16 and 18, I still remember pretending that I was 12 years and under just so I would get 50% off discount.
And then my grandma, you know what my grandma would do? Like, you know, if something was on my face, she'd lick her finger. It's something about her and her fingers. This one finger did do that on my face. I was like, I can't wait for my mama to get home. Where my mama
That's
go?
horrible.
I appreciate it, appreciated my mom, though.
Yes.
Once she left me with my grandma, I appreciated my mom. I was so happy to see her. Because my grandma used to make me go out and get my own switch. Remember that? I get back. You get out there and get your own switch.
And
you
don't bring back a small one, because she'll tell you to go back
out
and find
get a
another
bigger
one.